Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's Thursday, Thirsty Thursday, April 24th, 2025. Welcome. Now, yesterday's video gave us so much great information. We could have gotten a reversal with this candle. It's not confirmed either way. It's not negated. It's not confirmed today. We have an inside day. So we're going to take a look at what the market may be trying to tell us. And I'm still warning, there's just no confirmation. If you look at the cues alone, then you may be getting false calls or you may be getting a premonition. I don't know. If this ends up breaking out with Google earnings tonight, very positive, perhaps the cues can really get this market going. Now, as strong as SMH is today, and we'll go over all this, it's just now at a downtrend line, and that goes for so many individual names that we're not going to cover here, but I'll go ahead and check out Google. It seems to be one of the stronger looking stocks itself, but we'll take a quick look at it at the end there, okay? So we're doing this intraday about noon Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube member for 99 cents a month, and if you just want to join just to support the channel so we can continue to do these videos each and every day. I'd love to see it in the Discord. It comes with that as well. So let's jump into it. We have SPX on the daily time frame, and we're just in this range forever, right? Well, it's such a deep pullback here. If you're bearish, haven't quite taken out the range here. To me, it looks like some sort of flat pattern, which is always in a situation where you're retesting the highs, and today we could just we could draw this a couple different ways. Whether you're bullish or bearish, you can draw it in your perspective. So we could join these 2 points right here, which would give us a pivot. So that could set us up for an ascending triangle, right? So even if we get a pullback, that could still hold support and break out. So we're looking for this breakout if you're a bull. Now, if you're a bear, you have this downtrend line, and you can leave this the way it is and still consider it a downtrend. But if you want to really put your back against something, then you can these points right here. Connect these points, and that's a very valid trend line at this point, where you have 1, 2, 3, and a fourth connection. And so we're going to leave this on here just to see what's happening in the future. So tomorrow's video and the next, we'll keep an eye on this right now. And so really, we're just in an equilibrium. All right. So this would give us an optical vision that we're just in an equilibrium. Above is a breakout, below is a breakdown. In general, right? Things it always depends on how things look as you go. So we're at resistance right now. To me, this is an objective short. So I shorted the market today. Do we gap above it tomorrow and continue? Yeah, absolutely we could. And so by the end of the day, we'll throw on a couple hedges on the cues just to give us a little bit of mental wellness, so we can go ahead and sleep at night. You shouldn't be trading that large anyway if you're, if that's the case. But okay, so we'll continue to look at this, and then you can look at this as a bear flag as well that broke down and is back testing. And you'll probably see that on the 65, I think, with SPY. So let's go ahead and continue on. Moving averages, all right? This is firming up. This says we're in this nice firm to sideways. So move here. We're above the 20 moving average. We're above the 8 moving average, the 8 EMA. That's our momentum, and this is our trend. And so it's still heading down. So there's still that possibility that you could break back down from it, right? Like here, got above for 3 days. Okay, we've been above for 2 days now, and we could end up breaking down. So we want to see this hold if you're a bull, and you want to see this break out from the downtrend. If you're a bear, you just want to, if you're just now putting in your puts, fantastic. Now you have something to work against. Put your back against, and you're wrong with the new high here. All right. The McClellan oscillator, fantastic indicator, showing really good breadth here. Are we overbought? So overbought, and we haven't really even gone anywhere. Let's see. We're really getting up there, so this reading could easily shift and oscillate back down lower. All right, but for now, things are looking a little bit healthy. Maybe we should take a quick look at the, just to put us in check. You do this on the weekend analysis, but nothing wrong with checking it midweek. The summation index, all right? That's the accumulation of all the dailies together. And so what I want to see is the extreme bear. We haven't oscillated down there yet, but we're still in a downtrend. Okay, so things aren't dandy. They're not peachy yet. We're well into bear territory. We're not overextended, and we're at a lower high. Okay, there's a lot of evidence that, and we're at resistance, a lot of evidence that says we can just go down further. All right, now we get into this dark green area. And like each and every video, I keep talking about positive divergences forming if we make a new low. Again, that green area and that summation index, that would just give us such a great buying opportunity if we can even get there, okay? All right, let's see where the oscillators are. Again, we have our bull cross here. Doesn't mean that we're done going down, but the probabilities are starting to go away, right? We're starting to firm up in the market. So we'll see. If we break down from the triangle, then we have more of a probability of reaching new lows. But at this point, it's firm. We're in negative territory, but we have a bull cross. We're at resistance on RSI. We're starting to triangulate in the slow stochastic, but the headwinds are against the bears right now. It's heading to the upside, but really we're going sideways. So we'll see if this just turns back down. So if it continues to go up, maybe that's showing us a breakout. DMARC. All right, a 1-2 count, nothing to show here. We had a 13 count exhaustion and then had a bounce out of that. And let's go to SPY. All right, SPY with the money flow index starting to head up a little higher, getting to about that neutral zone. Positive divergence. We'll see what happens coming up. Bollinger Band, we're at the mid-range here. Same as yesterday. Holding on to it. If we hold on, for another day or two, maybe we can continue to move higher as a consolidation rather than a reversal. Volume shelf, Elliott oscillator, nothing to see here. Timing. Okay, we're looking for either a top or bottom in the cluster yesterday. I took away most of them, and I left this last one on here just because it was the only one for this date. So we're still in that time cluster as of today. So are we forming a top? We will see tomorrow. Friday will be a great teller of what is happening, okay? Ignore these ABCs and stuff. I don't have them in position for anything, okay? But tomorrow will be very telling, and then we should probably see follow through on Monday. So if we're bearish tomorrow, then we should see some follow through on Monday, and we'll probably, end up at some sort of support area going into the weekend. We'll see how far this goes. But then if we're bullish and starting to break out tomorrow because of Google, then again, we should probably see follow through into Monday. So we'll have to wait and see what occurs. All right, there's our downtrend line. Here's our traditional technical analysis. If you're new here, I layer on these different styles of technical analysis This is a traditional look. This is where you have support resistances and patterns. We have this expanding pattern. Do we have a little bit of room to the upside? Absolutely. This could form some sort of tweezer top. Different things can happen here, but from this optical, this is a bearish point of view where we built a bear flag, broke down from it pretty hard, and then and we're just back testing before heading lower. So this is a bear perspective, but again, that ascending triangle that we looked at on SPX, that could be saying, hey, wait a minute, we're very bullish and we could head to the upside. So that's what makes a market, you guys. And I'll leave this trend line here for future reference for resistance here, while SPX will leave that equilibrium triangle there, so we can match those up. All right, let's go. We're not going to go over the bullish scenario, the bearish scenario. If you're new here, then just go to yesterday's video. I want to keep this one pretty short because not a whole lot has happened, but I want to constantly go over different. I want to go through different points of view so we can, see if the market's telling us something new. Now, this is what I'm talking about with QQQ. Okay, we have our downtrend line right here. All right, we're breaking out. We're holding it. Right. That could either be a premonition that could say, hey, this is what the market's doing right now, or it could be, a fake out, and it really is going to depend on tomorrow or how we end today. Let's see what happens here. This looks bullish. Okay, if you're looking at a downtrend, we're still lower highs, so don't let that deceive you. That's lower highs, lower lows. The downtrend is just an optical way of showing you that there's lower highs and lower lows. Okay. And, but we visually see this is a candle breakdown high, we're at a lower high. So just need some more proof here. And I'll show you the Mag 7, which has been just so clean for us here, coming up shortly. Now, SMH, look at this downtrend line, perfect downtrend line. We're at resistance now. All right, so we're just at resistance today. Saw that coming with Nvidia yesterday because it looked like it had unfinished business and some room to move. So SMH is leading us here, over 4% move. That could all be wiped out tomorrow. But we'll see if this breaks out or not. IWM has been a fantastic indicator for us. And we have we drew in the 382 yesterday. Notice this is our range down here lower, and I'm going to zoom in. And this could easily be a 1, 2, wave 3 is completed down to here. And this is a wave 4. And of course, that's how it looks with the wave 4. The 382 is a very typical pullback. We're showing some strength, just holding on, but we're still below it. You get above 194.26, and then now you can talk, hey, maybe we're breaking out. All right, and this wave 4 is negated. So far, we just have a bear flag right here. All right, we need to see more evidence of trend change. Same thing with DIA. Can't get back into this channel. Is this a 1, 2, 3, wave 4, and 5? That's what we're trying to figure out. VIX starting to break down. We talked about yesterday, breaking down from 28. This is positive. We're still in a bullish falling wedge. So this, it could start to change on us at any point. But from this point of view, it looks like we want to maybe go test or close the gap here. This can keep dropping. So this is a check mark for the bulls so far. Even though we just have an inside day, we want to hold 28. We want to see price back over 28 to be bearish. So we're really, in my mind, getting to this neutral position where you have a few signals that are bullish. I think there's more that are bearish, all the downtrends and everything like that. So I'm not going to get sucked into it. I just need more evidence. All right, let's go over to the mags. Okay, Magnificent 7. All right, the tail that wags the dog. So without this breaking out, looks like it's trying, right? Same kind of look here with the candles. In a downtrend, well into a downtrend here. Easily. I told you to set up yesterday what this can be on the bear side, getting new lows. This is the same situation as IWM, SMH, DIA. We're in this. There's a 382 for the wave 4. That's all that happened. We have the 1, 2, 3. Wave 4 up to the 382. We need to see price get above 45.88. It's so important to negate this count, this structure. Right now, this is just a dead cat bounce at this point. All right, let's go to the 65 SPY. Okay, had to pause the video. Our timing is impeccable. My wife does the laundry right when I do the videos, and I'm not chauvinistic either. I'm actually the cook, so it's anyway. So let's look at Google. I almost skipped this one. Google pre-earnings, right? We have tonight after the bell. At this first glance, looks like a bullish falling wedge. We're breaking out. It's pretty ugly. Price action's going through here. But if you take the drawings away and really look at this in a raw setting, we're just making higher highs or lower highs and lower lows at this point, and maybe we have an equilibrium here. But I think this is more appropriate, just like the rest of the market and SPX, what we're looking at. Maybe we're breaking out from that downtrend line. All right. Maybe we use this downtrend line. There's so many ones you could use in this. Every individual name and ETF, they all trade differently. And so that's why most traders will key in on specific stocks. For example, Tesla, there's people that just trade Tesla only. And because you get the behavior of it, right? And so this one, it does look like we have some sort of maybe 5-wave move up, a pullback, maybe leading diagonal. So it does have this bullish look to it, and maybe we're in wave 3. We pull back a little bit more, but it looks like we're in an equilibrium so far. And however you count this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Maybe Google has some relative strength, and we'll see, do we gap up or gap down? And then we'll go from there. Otherwise, it's just a bear flag, breakdown, back test, just like all the other ones. All right, let's go to SPY in the 65. And, indicators on Google, there's no need to look at all the indicators and such. It just, earnings is all that matters. After, we like to trade things. For example, Tesla, I shorted Tesla after the fact, once we got into that downtrend line after earnings, and maybe we'll do the same thing with Google, but it's after the fact. Then you could see where price is. Then you can look at your indicators: is it overbought, oversold, and divergences and such. So SPY. And by the way, those I want to bring this up again. All right, I'll put the video up at the 19-minute mark. For in-out spreads, we again, another one closed today. Set it and forget it. We're doing phenomenal. Still a perfect record for when I started the in and out spread campaign. All right. So just want to note that. And in-out spreads, if you do want to trade earnings, if you're bullish on Google, you can easily do an in-out spread, a call spread, and it really takes down your risk. It might cost you $1.05 or $1 or so, and that's options talk, so the $100, and a real easy way to play a biased direction and keep your risk down. So yes, I'm not going to play it, but you can definitely use in-out spreads for earnings as well. All right, here's our falling wedge here. It's not, again, it's not perfect. It's at some of these tops, and we're right at that resistance right now, just as well as this this widening wedge from earlier before. We were playing this wedge. Now we're right back at the bottom of that wedge now. So we're at an objective short, and I don't know if you guys ever watched K Kim, any of his videos. They're really funny, actually. He's very just a character. Okay, character. But he would say this is where the Boss Bears command center is, and we're back at the Boss Bears. So I haven't watched one of his videos in a while. Maybe, I don't know if he's still doing them or not. But anyway, we're at a downtrend. Of course, going right into earnings. Probably not going to do anything for the rest of the day, but we'll see how this candle ends. Now I almost changed over. Moving averages, we're above the moving averages. Fantastic, right? They're starting to curl up. Just got to get over this 200 moving average. So important. Haven't gotten above it since we broke down way back when. Here's our look from the MACD. It's heading into bullish territory. It's still positive. We have if we do eke out a new high, we'll get this negative divergence here. We do have negative divergence on some of the individual names as well, so we have to watch out for that. Is this in the overbought territory? Does this curl down? That's what we're going to have to pay attention to going into tomorrow. Then we have the DMARC. Let's see what kind of count we have here. All right, so we got our 9 count exhaustion, and then we either consolidated or we started a downtrend. I can't tell if we got a new high. I don't think we got a new high yet today. But after the 9 count, we had this pullback. That could be the start of a new trend. So look at the 9s here. Beautiful counts. It really does work. It doesn't always have to be there, but it worked on this high, worked here. Look at the top. That's fantastic. So we'll keep showing these each and every day. So make sure you hit that notification bell. And there's the awesome oscillator in positive territory in the 65. The money flow still not in any overbought or oversold conditions, so not really much to see here. And there's your Bollinger Band into the top of the band there with the overbought situation. That was a sell signal. And you see they're starting to expand here, contraction to expansion. Do we ride this up or do we hit the bottom? Shelf oscillator, no need to. Okay, and then we give these certain situations. All right, and here's the ascending triangle on SPY that I give that situation. We could tag this 50% up here, the 547.43. Haven't quite tagged it yet, and that's from top to bottom, a 50% retracement. So that's possible today. Maybe we can hit that before heading lower, and that would give us a new high here. So maybe that's the but that would give us a new high here too. So lots of things to think about. Is this a 1, 2, 3, 4? This obviously the waves are overlapping and some sort of leading diagonal. If we get a new high and then we reverse for a higher low, maybe into the trend, or not trend line, but pivot here. Lots of questions. But here's our scenario. If you're just looking at this ascending triangle, breakout, breakdown, it's simple as that. Here's your A, here's your B, if you want to have a count to it. Looking for a 1, maybe this gives us wave 1 in the C wave up here, right? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move up, and then a wave 2, 3, 4, and 5 into a C wave, and that would complete the overall B wave right here. So this all was an A, B, and then we head lower for a C. That is one possibility, especially if we see more strength. All right, if we want to go directly lower, here's our ABC. We have our bear flag done here. In this count would be negated right? If we get a new high here over this high, then we have to take this count out, because now looks like a flat pattern. We have a wave 1 here or here. It doesn't really matter. 2, 3, 4, and 5 for lower prices. So we'll, as we get more information, we'll be able to take some of these situations out. All right, some of these counts. So we still have a downtrend here for a possible triangle. I know it's starting to look more like an ascending triangle, but we can't really negate that until we get a new high here. So let's see if we even get a new high for this one, let alone this one. And then we can take this count out if we show strength above it, right? So right now we have an A, B, C, come back down for D, and an E, all right? And then we would see a continuation lower. I know I didn't move these out. That would be more of how it would look. Get a new low. Boom, boom. And that can be an A or 1. It doesn't really matter. All right, I think we can change up now. QQQ. 65. Again, breaking out, right? Are we closing this gap? Do we get this entire gap closed? With that being done, then I would suspect the rest of the market is breaking out. But right now, we're fighting with this 200 moving average. Price can go up above it and over it, and then a gap below it. So just be careful. This isn't confirmed yet. We do have a nice hourly candle that's above the 200. Just want to be cautious. Haven't made a new high yet. SMH. All right, SMH, again, in that downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. We're starting to get above some resistance here. So again, price action's firming up. But to me, this looks like whatever you can get out of this move here, and then this is a 3-wave move here that's corrective. All right, and now it does, and this could be a 1-2, 1-2, and we just continue to see price grind. We're into resistance. Look at that 200 right there. Now, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5-wave move complete going into tomorrow. Maybe we have a bearish day and we just set up for a 1, 2, right? So if this is an A, B, and you're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's the scenario that is a little bit more bullish that we showed on SPY, the first one. And if not, if this is some sort of wave 1 and then an A, B, C expanded flat, then you have the same wave count. You still have that 5-wave move, but either one of these is telling me that we need some sort of pullback either way. Okay, unless this is a nesting 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is considered a breakout, and this just grinds higher each and every day, gap up, gap up, gap up. That would give us a whole nother story. Look at that, almost 5% in the day. IWM. It seems like every single day is just bullish. I'm sorry, I'm thinking, trying to do things and things. It just seems like every single day, 2, 3, 4% moves are just the normal now. I can't, if it's a 1% move, everything's boring. All right, so just getting a lower high at this point with the IWM. I saw this equilibrium broke out. Now this could easily just be an A, some sort of B in here, whether it's a triangle or not, and then C, and it's done. So remember, we said we're into that 382. Watch out for this 382, 194.26. Do we get above it? Also that 200 moving average on the 65. All right, we just have some more work to do. TIA. All we're looking at is kind of this bear flag that's really ugly now. So almost to the options expected move. Let's see if we stall there. And fix. So the VIX is it's getting below that 200 moving average, coming into test the gap here. So that will be a big test. I think we could go just a little bit lower. That would allow the market a little bit higher, but we're still in this bullish falling wedge setup. All right, so coming into support here soon. It seems like it hasn't moved all day. Maybe it's broken. And let's go mags. Once again, we're looking at that 382. So this is a wave 4 so far, and we're just getting a pullback. Here's our downtrend. Are we starting to break out? We'll see. You got some room. You have a little room here. And then here's the 62% retracement. That we're still at it, right? In the daily time frame, we broke down from it. Couldn't hold it on the yesterday's hold. Maybe today, do we actually hold it, or we gap back below it? But technically we're right at it. Still the 62% retracement. I know there's wiggle room here, and let's see, it could go up to 786. That's possible as well. But then that would signify some sort of breakout. And again, that downtrend line can probably even be adjusted to a different trend line that's in a shorter term, while this only is at the 200 moving average and the 786. So it even though it appears it's probabilities, okay? We're trading probabilities. So at this point, probability is that we reverse from here. We get above all this stuff that we're talking about today and yesterday, and we get above those, then probabilities say, hey, all right, we're looking bullish. You can start to dip your toe into some different aims. If you didn't get in on this low here, then there's no sense in getting to it at resistances now. All right. So there's a tip for you. And I think that's all we got. Let's get this video out to you. Thanks for joining us here at OptionsTender. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.